Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Sethum and welcome back to another video for Conan Exiles. Today in this video, folks, I am going to be doing a bit of a showcase. So I did two of these for my fortified castle stroke village and whatever you want to call it, but with the most recent changes to Conan Exiles, where obviously the followers, and by followers I mean pets and thralls, can be named, and the horses and all that. Obviously I've gone and got myself some thralls and followers, and with that being said and done, the added bonus of naming them has made this game a lot more fun for myself. Now obviously with that, there's a tad bit of a problem in that with regards to the thralls, it's kind of difficult to remember what sort of thrall that was once you've named it, so there is a bit of a problem there, and maybe the devs could do something like that. So maybe they could have underneath the name the origin of the thrall, or whatever the thrall was before, just as a side note for the players playing the game. It would help, or that information being put somewhere at some point later on in the game. However, as it currently stands, the leveling up system of the thralls I do enjoy. It does get grindy, but what I do enjoy even more than that is the naming of the thralls. Now obviously I've not just named a couple of thralls, I've also done some building, and not a lot, but I've done it within the castle. So the way I'm going to work this out is I'm going to finish the Fortified Keep first and the castle, and I'm going to populate it with things and make it look like a busy place. As you can see, this area underneath me is a bit empty, and I have managed to get some new followers. If you have been following my channel, you'll know that something happened at some point and I kind of lost my followers. So let's have a look at what I've done, and I'm going to primarily focus on the followers. So as you can see, we've got two of the scorpion pets that you can have. So we've got Stinger over there, and that is the, I suppose, Scorpion King. I kind of didn't have any idea of what to name him. Now I do want to point out that there's something wrong with hatching the eggs currently. These are scorpions that I've saved before. Now this is where it gets really interesting. I've got 4 horses. This one actually is inspired by the internet poppy. So we have Ponita, but look at this right here. It's got a dangly thing. That's a male. Did not expect to see that in the game. So yeah. So on to names, we got Ponita, we got Mr. Hoofy over here, and obviously he's got his own missus, which is Mrs. Hoofy. And so that's kind of it for down here. There's a lot of stuff to be done to kind of populate it, and I'll show you what I mean by populate it. Now over here we have some of these giants. We got Mr. Frosty and his best friend next to him, possibly his son, you don't know, Ice Cube. So these guys are guarding the entrance into the, I suppose, upper keep, if you want to call it that. And then this is where things get, or at least start to get interesting, at least. So we've got thrall number 1, En Sabah Nur, and for those that don't know, or those that do know, it is a reference to X-Men, and obviously En Sabah Nur is the original name for Apocalypse, a character which I really love. Marco Polo over here, so that's the name I chose for him because I didn't know what else to choose, and I just went with Marco Polo because hey, why not? Over here we have 2 of the better thralls, so I kind of decided to give them some nice names. We've got Sir Malaxis, and Malaxis, if I'm not mistaken, is a group of flowers or plants. So I thought that was a bit of an interesting take over there, so might as well go with that. And then Captain Grundal, which is again an original name by me. And over here, this is where things get really interesting. We've got Skeletor, because hey, he does not want to fight He-Man anymore. You know, He-Man being a goon and all that sort of deal. He's kind of given up on that, and he's just come looking for a job. So I decided to hire him. He's gonna protect the steps to my castle. But he didn't come by himself. He brought his son, Skeletor Jr. Actually, sorry, my bad for that. And over here we have another thrall guarding the bank, which is kind of currently empty because it doesn't have a thrall inside it. It does have the vault. So this is what we're going for. I'm going to show you the names right here. So we also have Simon the Wise, and this is a reference to Neebs Gaming. It's a channel that I watch, and if you ask me, Simon is the one that makes the whole show that much more entertaining. Without him, it would not be the same. It wouldn't be as entertaining. And over here we have Dumb and Dumber, but I'll get into that. So I've set up a little marketplace stroke bar sort of, you know, pub sort of thing going on. So obviously the guy that's renting this place off of me has hired 2 goons, Dumb and Dumber. So that's a Nico over there. That's his little area right here. Everything that you saw, he started out fairly small, but now, you know, people do like drinking, so he's kind of expanded and started renting things out and all that. And as you can see, we've got market stalls that are, so he's renting from me, and then he's renting those spaces to them, sort of deal. You know, he's a hustler. He's into making money. He's got several employees. He's got a cook over there that's cooking food for the people that come in. He's got a dancer over here, a performer, and we've also got, so we got Syra, who's keeping the guests entertained. As a stove over there in the far corner, and obviously we have to have a band, so we've got a musician, we've got Sinesha, and Sinesha is a reference to Raid Shadow Legends. It's a nice name. I thought might as well go with that. So we've got the drums, we've got some stuff over here to play music on, we've got the dancer, we've got a gong, and why not a horn, because that's what I can find for a musical instrument. But yeah, so this is all his business right here, and he's obviously renting out to Ishua. Now, he was once a captain on the Black Galleon. I think he gave up his life of crime and decided to get into business. I'm guessing he's probably in a relationship now, and the missus wants him to make money legit or something. So he's selling all the stuff that you would want in the house, or your missus would want in the house, you know, cushions, pottery and all that. Obviously he's getting a cut off of that as well. And over here we've got Vinny, who is his friend, also renting out the area, and he's supposedly meant to be a carpenter stroke hustler. You know, we don't really know where all of these things come from. He's a self-proclaimed carpenter in his words, but we don't really know. We can't verify that. As far as I'm concerned, I'm making a profit and I'm happy with that. So this is the little setup here. I mean, I could add a few more things here to kind of make it look busier, maybe some more thralls. I don't really want to go too wild on the thralls, but there's that area between the 2 stalls that I could use for something. And obviously, as you can see, they've set up business quite close to the altar of Set. So obviously when people come for prayers on the weekends, on Sundays, you know, they want to drop by, pick up some stuff for the house, and then, you know, the men kind of forget about going home and end up drinking and eating and all that sort of stuff. So he's got a good business. It works for him, and I get my profits, you know, off the rent and the taxes and all that. Nice little area right here, so I like it. It looks good. It looks lively. I mean, what I would like to do, and this is, you know, if the devs would like to do that, I would like to be able to set patrol paths for the thralls. It would make it feel a bit more alive. Don't get me wrong, I like what is currently in the game, but that's just something they can look at. Again, this area again needs some more stuff. I think that section right there is kind of finished, but like this right here is kind of empty, so we need to do some stuff down there again, sort of, well, more like really empty. Then I need to populate the guardhouse and all that. I'm going to put beds and maybe some thralls in there and all that good stuff. And obviously the kill hole, which still needs work on it. We still need to put a place where the archers can shoot down. So that's it for up there, oh, down there. Time to look at what I've done with the castle. Now do bear in mind, this is still a work in progress, and I've only done certain sections of the castle with regards to kind of populating them with thralls. But I'm having a look around now, and I can see lots of empty space that does need using up, and maybe I might extend the bank or something like that. So over here we've got archers at the top. We're going to start with the top. We've got Alexa, because sometimes you might want to ask Alexa for certain things, so I thought might as well have my own Alexa in the castle. You know, it's connected to the internet and all that. And we have Daniela Snowhunter, now not to be confused with Dalincia Snowhunter. That's her sister. We've got Captain Helen over here, so she's in charge of the archers. And Victoria, because I didn't know what else to name them. And so that's just something that kind of came up. That was kind of like one of the first names. And we've got that one over there. So yeah, archers up here. I still need to do the upper bit of the castle. We got She-Ra again, reference to He-Man. She doesn't want to work with He-Man because he's too much of a goon. He's fed up with He-Man. I think they're brother and sister. So then we've got Dalincia Snowhunter, who's also on the other side of the throne in the courtyard, and yeah, so her sister's up there. And down here we have Anita entertaining the person, mainly me, that sits on the throne, because hey, why not? We need some entertainment. We've got Sergiana right there, and then Xavier, which I think Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know where this name came from, but possibly a reference to Raid Shadow Legends. Captain Natalia, because she's got to be in charge of the people down here. Now we do have Ariana. Now, not a reference necessarily to the singer. I just one of those names that kind of came up in my mind, and I thought I'll go with it. It's going to be one of those cases where I'm just going to end up running out of ideas. So we've got Vanessa over there. We need to give her a companion. Nothing changed much in this area. I still need to do the dungeon, maybe set up a guard's quarters in the dungeon, and probably a prisoner, because hey, why not? We've got Shiva, a name, I don't know where this came from, it just sounded nice, so I just went with it. And this one has not changed in terms of name. And then we've got Lilandra, which is another reference to X-Men, for those that don't know. So several references to X-Men and things that I actually like. I thought, you know, if I can name them, might as well. Do not ask me what Thrall is what. You know, I would not be able to tell you at this point because they're all mixed up. So, oh, I've also added some personal fridges up here. You know, I might want a snack, at least on the way up, and I'll have to sort that out as well. And so this would be the personal quarters, of chest there with some thralls that I will place down. Lindell, which I've not changed. Joe and Ladagra, which is actually a thrall that you cannot tame. You can only spawn her in, and I thought since I lost all my thralls, might as well go with it. Not that I'm ever going to use it, and this is more for role-playing purposes anyways, just for entertainment. And once I set up the Colosseum, that is where I will be doing the damage tests and all that wonderful stuff. So the area that I currently use to test the damage out on thralls and all that, that's going to be destroyed, and it's going to move to the Colosseum once that is done. Obviously, outside the Colosseum, I will also place like a little village, or create a little village. But so this is kind of like what I'm going for. I am trying to make it look organic, I suppose, as if it's a real castle with stuff that you would expect to see in a real castle. And I just realized there aren't any windows, so I'm gonna have to look at putting some windows in the castle just for the added value. I'm kind of happy without the windows, but sometimes you might want to look out a window, who knows. So I'm gonna have to look at the outer walls, see what I can decide and design with regards to placing down windows. So I'm gonna show you the dungeon. We only have 3 cells, not many people to put in prison, but this would be the kitchen area. We've got like a little refrigerator area, so I've got some more space to put down some more boxes and stuff in it, just to keep it populated with stuff. And when I say populated, I don't necessarily mean thralls and NPCs, also items. Again, this place is kind of empty, but I'm going to keep it fairly empty because this is a dungeon. Underneath the stairs, I'll probably set like a little quarters or something where the guard can spend his time whilst he's guarding the prisons. Maybe extend the prisons, that might possibly be a thing. I don't know, I'll have to have a look at that. And that's kind of pretty much it. That is where I'm at the moment. I'm going to primarily focus on the keep and the castle, trying to make it look... See, again, right there's a bit of an empty space, so maybe I could leave that like that. I mean, it's fine, but I feel like something needs to be put there. Maybe a statue or something. That could be a thing. Or a fountain. We don't have a fountain though. But up here again, I need to build some towers and kind of build upwards. And see, the thing is, I don't know what I'm gonna do here. I still haven't got an idea of how it's going to look at this point in time. But this is where I'm at. Over there on that side, that's where the Colosseum will be, and that is where the damage tests will take place once it is done. Now, the thought has crossed my mind to kind of mess around with this giant bridge or path that leads from the keep to the village and Colosseum, and put a drawbridge there. That's something that I was kind of tinkering with in the back of my head, and then maybe make like a gatehouse or something like that. So it's a possibility. It's, again, just a thought. And so, yeah, this is what I've been working on. This took hours to set up, and I do mean crazy hours, despite the fact that I had most of these things saved up in vaults and places and storage boxes throughout the base. These are things that I've been gathering on my travels, and it took... And actually, a good thing is that I have had and used the thralls and creatures that I've been saving up throughout my gameplay. I managed to more or less tame a ton of them, and I placed down several of them just I mean before they went missing, just for the purposes of looking at them and playing and messing with them, but saved up a lot of them. So I'm fortunate in that regards that I managed to save up, and like all the placeables, these are things that I managed to again save up by killing stuff. Anything that was a placeable, I kind of just grabbed it regardless if I needed it or not at the time, and it kind of came in handy. I will need to grind for some more stuff, but that is it for now, folks. I do hope that you have enjoyed it, and if you have, please don't forget to support me on the channel by hitting that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new and haven't already for more similar content from myself. And for those interested, you can always find me on the Sethtopia Discord. Links to this you can find down below in the video description, as well as in a pinned comment from myself. Until next time, stay safe, folks.